And welcome to this Cup of Nations 2019 battle, where we see Scyther as Arverni versus Neforgoth as Armenia. Still in the group stage. Let's have a look at what we're facing. So Scyther has got 4 slingers, 4 levy freemen, 2 Celtic youths, 4 oathsworn and 1 chosen swordsman with 4 heavy horse and 1 light horse. Neforgoth, Armenia, 3 horse archers, 4 cataphracts as general, 1, 2, 3, 4 Persian cavalry, 1 eastern cataphract, front line 2 eastern spearmen, a mix of cartly axemen and standard axemen, with eastern slingers and eastern archers. 4 eastern slingers, 1 eastern archer. Pure kite army. You would expect that from Armenia. And so the question becomes, what damage these guys and the foot missiles in there can do to Scyther's army before Scyther can impact, because this infantry line of Armenia, if it gets engaged, it will melt against what Scyther's got. But it's how long they can keep firing and backing up. So you can expect something like that, with little pushes from the cavalry just to keep Scyther honest. It's a classic matchup. I've never seen Neforgoth play before, so I don't know how good he is at this. It's going to be interesting, folks. It could be a long player. So yeah, some nice fire from Scyther's slingers, just going in on the Persian cavalry and the eastern cataphract. And Neforgoth probing there with his archers and slingers. See if he can take an advantage in this missile war. Well, he's got the advantage. If he can take out Scyther's slingers, that minor advantage becomes a big advantage. Yeah, so Neforgoth definitely seeming to get the advantage in the early missile war. Some damage done to Scyther. It's very frustrating, but that's what kind of armies do to you. And a bit of a mistake there, he's firing on these eastern spearmen who are there purely as meat shield, because, as I said before, this infantry line of Armenia, it's weak. Nice pressure from Neforgoth. It's forcing those slingers back a little more. Now Neforgoth's making a little bit of a mistake. He's firing on the levy freemen. They are there purely to do that job, to soak up the missile fire, so that his more important units don't get fired upon. Neforgoth really realising that error, switching his focus onto the slingers. Although a cheap unit, if he can get rid of one of these units, it puts him in such a commanding position. at the moment, these foot archers, these horse archers, are not being utilised particularly well. I mean, they will be very powerful in the end game, so that's good. But he could be going around the back and just applying a bit more pressure, not making it so easy for Scyther to back off his slingers. So I don't understand why Neforgoth's firing on these levy freemen here. They're causing some damage, but look what's just behind them. If he repositioned a cav unit or a spear unit, he could go forward to about that line there and fire on these Oathsworn. Oh, in fact he didn't even need to move forward. He's switched target now and he's firing on the gold. So that's a much better choice. If he can weaken these units, then the game changes. And he's not just weakening, he is killing some of the models. Scyther's finally gotten aware. Now, one of the units of Eastern Slingers is wavered just for a moment. We're seeing a game of cat and mouse. Wavering from some Celtic Slingers there. And the Light Horse has taken advantage because these guys, he didn't back up with an infantry unit, he didn't back up with a cav unit, they got out of position. Scyther lost a man, but and what's worse, the Persian cavalry continued on, so he compounded the mistake by potentially overextending. Scyther won't mind losing there. Well, he would have preferred not to lose half a unit of Light Horse there, but he just caused a mistake to occur, and has it put Neforgoth in disarray. Persian cavalry now, moving forward a bit. Well, Neforgoth's regained his composure, I would say. That was possibly the chance for Scyther to jump. And he's reverted to firing on the levy freeman. He is firing on the Oathsworn again. Scyther needs to respond to that. He really does need to respond. He's starting to lose a lot of men to that fire. It's a good play from Neforgoth. Persian cav just pushing forward. Nice move. Also, archers still going to have plenty of ammo. They barely fired a shot. I'm not sure that was such a great move from Neforgoth. He's charged in, lost a lot of Persian cav. No real need to do that. That unit of Oathsworn still taking a lot of damage. Another mistake from Neforgoth. It's allowed this unit of horse archers to get caught. He's pushing with the Eastern Spears. Might be quite a clever move. He's bringing the Oathsworn forward. Out here, the Light Horse are chasing the horse archers. We have an engagement between the Eastern Cataphracts and the Heavy Horse. The Eastern Spearmen have been destroyed. He tried to back up with the Axemen. Now these Eastern Cataphracts are in a bad spot. Caught with the Eviors and the Levy Freeman. And the General now getting shot upon. But this was a big mistake with the Eastern Cataphracts. Why risk that unit? Not just risk it, you've lost the unit. I'm not entirely sure what Neforgoth's plan was. He lost half a unit of horse archers, another quarter of a unit there, or a third of a unit, and a full unit of Eastern Cataphracts, and half a unit of Persian Cav. In exchange, he got some Levy Freeman and it looks like the Light Horse. No, the Light Horse somehow survived. Now, Scyther must have brought 2 units and I missed one in the count up. The balance of power is still fairly even. Latte. So Neforgoth probing again with these horse archers. Hopefully he can utilise them better than last time. These Oathsworn are good units to fire on. That's bad for Scyther. And the horse archers are still going to have lots of ammo. I'm not so sure now about the slingers and the archers for Armenia. He's probing again with the Persian cavalry, and that's a good probe. It's putting some doubt in the minds of these Levy Freemen. There was the chance that he could make them flee cheaply there. That was a good move from Neforgoth. And Scyther just countering that by pushing his lights. No, his heavy horse forward. Oh, Neforgoth has definitely spotted a chance to wipe out some of these Celtic youths. It was worth. I would argue that was worth it. He ultimately lost his unit, but had he been able to get rid of those jab throwers, it would have been very useful. Pardon me. And it looks as though Scyther is going to have to be a little more proactive in this battle. At the moment he's been reactive, which is not served him bad, but at some point he wants to jump down the throat of the central block. See what he can get rid of. Actually, in terms of cavalry, Neforgoth has been a bit wasteful. He's down to 4 melee units and 3 weakened horse archers, and he's allowed Scyther to get another charge on one of these horse archer units, and this might be the end of it. Okay, he's still got his 2 strongest, but that felt like an unnecessary mistake, an unnecessary risk. Might be the end of this light horse for Scyther as well, though, because he's going to get fired on from from multiple sides, and he's got nowhere to run. But one of the horse archers was dealt with. Scyther's still firing on the Eastern Slingers, and Neforgoth pushing with the cav now. He's spotted the light horse is defeated as he spotted a chance. Well, Scyther counted with the Levy Freeman very nicely, but this could be good from Neforgoth. Arguably, he didn't need to go in with the Eastern Spearman. And his general has been caught by Scyther's heavy horse. That's definitely a mistake. The one unit you do not want to accidentally leave behind is the general, which is prompting forward movement from Neforgoth's right hand flank. Scyther timed this perfectly. It looks like Neforgoth is countering now with these Persian cavalry to try and save that general. The Cartley Axemen doing a good number on the Oathsworn. They definitely got the charge there. This could be quite nice from Neforgoth. It didn't feel necessary. It felt like an error saving move. But if he can take out all of Scyther's cav, that's the critical part. If these, and most importantly these, have got missiles left, then he can afford to lose these axemen. But we'll see. This feels like the endgame starting. Oh, beautiful play from Scyther. Are we going to see these units hit? Well, Neforgoth has blocked that off with the Persian cav. A lot of Scyther's units are wavering now. As Neforgoth has the definite cav advantage. Scyther still holds the infantry advantage. That was a well dealt with by the Oathsworn. We'll probably see these Levy Freemen trying to get in on this battle here just to help out the heavy horse. If those Persian cav can be dealt with, that will be a bonus for Scyther. These Oathsworn are fighting these Persian cav, and it looks as though some of the foot units will use up their ammo because they're going into the melee. Over on this flank, the horse archers have gone into melee. They've never used up their missiles, have they? They never really got behind Scyther's units, so I'd be shocked. The Royal Cataphracts have been caught out there. They're losing men. Down to 8 men. Shouldn't ever have been caught by those Oathsworn. The heavy horse still in that battle against the Persian cav. Celtic U's in there as well. This feels as though all of the missile units have been used up their ammo. The Persian cav there, still 35 men strong. That's quite nice. And that's a hefty Oathsworn unit still left. Well, how good is Neforgoth at charging? Because that's what it's going to come down to now. If he can charge, get some clean charges in, he can break a few units, he can still win this. So Scyther has got to say goodbye to these cav units if he can. And there goes two. Okay, they were not the strongest, but somehow, I'm not entirely sure how, Scyther's turned this game around. That is outstanding play. It's not like Neforgoth played bad. I feel that his Horse Archer play was weak, but everything else was pretty much on point. It just doesn't feel as though Neforgoth has enough left to deal with the Oathsworn block, the core of Scyther's army. So Neforgoth has 3 cav units left and 2 foot missiles. If these guys have missiles left, and they do, why on earth did they go into melee? And that was the Horse Archers dealt with. Everything else is wavering for Neforgoth. The general's fled, and that's game over. Wow, great battle. A very pronounced difference in styles of play from the two factions and the two players there. I want to say both players played very well. It was a close fought battle. Well done, Scyther. Fair play to Neforgoth, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next battle. Goodbye.